Transportation planning point. Normally, we have used TPP. Term is TPP. Transportation planning point. It's represent a group of employees responsible for planning transportation. So,
Okay.
a transportation planning point can be cover one or many shipping points.
Okay.
Like transportation planning points are independent or other organizational unit of that logistic module. So basically,
Okay.
transportation planning point represents a group of employees of planning of transportation.
Okay. Okay, sir.
We can use in transportation planning point many deliveries we can use in one transportation planning point.
Okay, sir.
Like as I said, transportation planning point. There are many master data also. It is used in scheduling part, like your vehicle master.
Okay,
Okay,
sir.
vehicle master. Before creating that scheduling, you need to use that vehicle master. You need to create
Okay.
driver details, compartment, vehicle master. You should have TPP and shipment type, delivery document, whether it is inbound, outbound, or reservation, and for vehicle master. These four things that is the mandatory. Without that, you cannot
Okay.
create scheduling.
Okay, sir.
After doing that scheduling, we'll do that loading.
Okay, sir. Sir, one thing I am finding it hard to understand. This partially load, completely loaded. That means, say, physically it happens, but in that case, we will shall we need to declare that it's completely loaded instead of 100, but we are taking it 50 because of some constraints in the field. So we are only able to load. I mean, plant able to load only 50. That time we have to declare it like completely loaded in SAP or somewhere, or what happens, sir, in this case?
Sorry, come again, please.
Say for example, partial shipment creation, full shipment creation. Here, partially loaded, full load, completely loaded. So, as per your last time, you explained that out of say 100 KL, only 50 only we could able to load because of field issues. Okay. So after that, in the same loading confirmation, we have to tick put some tick or some check mark that to declare that it's completely loaded, or what happens in the system level if that truck gets partially loaded.
See, if truck gets partially loaded, then our fully loading will not confirm. That time your status always on three status, and we
Okay.
cannot go ahead to do that full loading. If you're not doing
Okay.
that full loading, then delivery confirmation will not confirm.
Okay.
So always loading means always full, completely loading.
Okay.
Okay. So if it is
Okay.
partially loading, then we can see why it has partial loading. Where the issues? Is it different some conversion issue? It is the cause of a batch issue? Is it cause of what kind of storage location they have used?
Okay. These
And
things are at the level in the SAP level, sir. You are talking about, or in the field level, sir. In SAP level only, you are talking about, correct, na, sir?
I'm talking about that SAP. Non-SAP,
Okay.
if you are talking about non-SAP, for example, after that schedule, like customer, we use our own vehicle already because whenever we use that delivered scenario, that time we use our own vehicle. So while
Correct, sir.
doing that loading, we see that there are some issues with the quality issue, or there are some material has got damaged, and we are not doing that. We are not loaded that that completely loaded. There are few compartments are still open, and
Okay.
we have not loaded. That time, of course, it's not fully loaded.
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
then we need to use what kind of batch we have used, what kind of, okay, in there are few storage locations are there. Which storage
Mhm.
location we have used, whether it is a warehouse stock, whether it has a company stock, and whether we have used that storage location is a company storage location or other storage location, might be some driver issue. Many pros and cons, many reasons are there because
Okay.
that fully loaded has not done.
Okay.
So the points which are mentioned are there: loading storage location, load batch, what kind of valuation, whether it is a taxable or untaxable, actual loaded quantity, whether we are doing that for how much quantity we are loading, quantity conversion QC parameter, like how much temperature we are giving while loading
Okay.
the material
Okay.
into the compartment. Then after doing that, any questions with this scheduling and loading?
Understood, sir. What you mean to say that if only it's, for example, say, sir, shipment creation, only we have to do complete creation only. Partially SAP will not allow. So for that, we have to check what
Correct.
reasons behind it, and we have to make it fully
Yeah,
loaded.
SAP can allow to that partially loaded. But we have
Okay.
to do that for to complete the scenario, to complete the process, we have to do that fully loading. Then if it
Understood,
is,
sir.
if
Understood.
okay, there are some issues are happening, system are not allowing at fully loading,
Okay.
then we can see that, we'll check that why it is not fully loading. While doing that fully loading,
Yeah.
some batch issues, some kind of issues, as I mentioned over here, some issues are coming. Then we
Okay,
can
sir.
see
Okay.
that
I got it, sir.
if why these issues are coming, then we rectify those errors. After that, it will allow to do that fully loading.
Sir,
Then
your
come to the
screen has.
delivery.
Yes, sir. Now screen has come. Correct, sir.
Then come to the delivery confirmation. The transaction over we use O for H1, that is the delivery confirmation, create and change. Do you see my screen?
Yes, sir. I can see your screen.
Because why I'm asking, there some sound is coming. And whenever you face any kind of issue, just ping me immediate.
Yes, sir. Now I can
O
see
for
your
H.
screen, sir.
So T code O for H1, delivery confirmation, create and change, status 5 and status 6. Partially confirmed and fully confirmed, completely confirmed. Partially
Okay, sir.
confirmed when I say in case of delivery activity not done for all the line items, gain or loss. Gain or loss calculated in that delivery confirmation.
Okay.
If the vehicle not closed, there is some issue with the compartment, enter actual discharge quantity, how much we do that loading, the discharge, if the same quantity has not discharged, oil quantity calculation and delivery confirmation, conversion
Okay, sir.
quantity in different that conversion you can check in that loading and delivery confirmation. So apart from that, that if there is any unflag the parcel delivery confirmation, active the vehicle closed flag, gain or loss, enter the appropriate region code, gain or loss, these are the parameters are there. If there is any
Okay.
kind of issue with these details, then the delivery confirmation will not done completely. So
Okay.
delivery confirmation, T code is O for H1, create and change. We can use the both, the single transaction for both purpose, create and change.
Sir, I have one doubt, sir, here. Sir, this loss gain posting, will it happen customer end? I mean, at the say retail outlet, at their end it will happen, or in the plant level only we will post loss by gain, or how this loss by gain works, sir, actually?
See, loss and gain, it has happened. See, how much we have loaded, the same quantity we have to deliver.
Correct, sir.
Okay, so if the
Okay.
same quantity has not delivered, that time we see that why there is a difference. What are the issues are there? What are the quantity we have loaded? Why it has not discharged completely?
Okay, sir.
Okay, so whenever we have loaded, for example, 100 quantity we have loaded into the in one compartment,
Okay,
and
sir.
while delivered to that customer premises, they have some, that in petrol pump they have that storage location. We can say it's a storage location, and
Yes,
we
sir.
loaded that quantity into that, that
Storage
into
location.
that box, and one that iron pipe is there. So we loaded all the quantities over there. So the temperature, there is some, because as I mentioned earlier, it's a oil, it's a fuel items, it's always morning time when you go to any petrol pump. That time, that the petrol label, it's a thickness is different, and if you come around 1 p.m or 2 p.m, the thickness is something different. For that reason,
Okay.
people go to the petrol pump early morning to fill the petrol.
Yes, sir.
And so it's always based on the temperature. Based on the temperature, it's always increase or decrease. And
Okay, sir.
also quantity variation is there. So gain and loss, some percentage always, that is applicable. If it is beyond to that, then we calculate like, okay, we have done that, we calculate how much it is, gain percentage and loss percentage, we calculate into the delivery confirmation time. And
Mhm.
delivery confirmation always happened from that, that from that customer side, not the customer, from that company side. And customer, of course, they will calculate in both the side, we notify. If the customer use
Okay.
his own vehicle in the pickup scenario, that time gain and loss we do not calculate. We calculate gain or loss only in delivered scenario. And
Oh,
always the company said it has to calculate.
okay. So, sir, gain and loss is only on delivery scenario. In pickup scenario, there is no such point. Correct, na, sir?
Correct.
So that's why, sir, I have seen few these tankers. They will always travel with invoices. So once
Hmm.
invoice generated means everything has been done. So that is the typical example of pickup scenario. Correct, na, sir?
because the customer take their own vehicle, and they use our storage location and to load it all the how much quantity it has decided. Okay, based on that delivery, based on that order, they have loaded. Okay, this much of quantity you are loading. They come to our premises and loaded all the quantity. And
Okay,
that time we do not use that again or loss. Clear?
clear, sir.
This is the vehicle. And here you can see that master data related to the 3D shipment process, transportation distribution process, master data, transport unit, vehicle, O3 defaults, mode of transport. As you mentioned, road, rail, marine, barge, pipeline, unit of measure weight, kg, weight in kg or volume. L means liter, weight LB US pound, volume usually. Yeah, these details they it used not in India. For any foreign company, they have used these details, this information.
The O3 defaults also come into master data. Na? Normally, sir, here
Correct.
master data means okay, and they will mention
O3
only
default
transport
means
unit,
it's a master data.
vehicle, and driver only. They will mention normally. Normally, TD master data means they will mention only transport unit, vehicle, and driver master data only. This O3 defaults, the other things normally they won't mention, but here you have given some in the broader picture.
O3 defaults, yes, yes. O3 default that is also related to the
Master
master
data.
data. Here we have used which plant we have used, what is the material, what is the storage location we have used.
Okay, sir.
Based on that,
Yes.
O3 defaults that is mandatory. And the O3 defaults in both the case we can use in the delivery level, also in the segment level.
Okay, sir.
And here you can see that vehicle, transport unit, compartment, prime mover, and secondary. You can see that this is a transport unit. Here it is mentioned compartment.